Hopkins has had the heavy publicity from the middleweight star, his uncle mainly, who's been hosting the press conferences here for Golden Boy. Forbes also has a cult following because of his appearances in the Contender Series. The green trunks of Steve Forbes, who's giving away that height and maybe the natural weight.
That was a lovely countering jab there from Hopkins, just half step back, banged with a jab. Not a tremendous amount of power in it, but it's nicely executed.
We should have quality here. Both very serious about the business and plenty of talent mixed into that ring. But how good is Hopkins?
Well, first impressions, he's very quick, especially with counters with the left hand. He's countered with a couple of jabs, a couple of left hooks as well. So he looks quite happy. He has that kind of look of a fighter ready to pounce. He just waits for the mistake, pounces on it.
Yeah, speed, found that body shot well. And trying to get the jab working. Demetrius Hopkins, this huge reach advantage he has over the much smaller man, Steve Forbes.
Yeah, well, he's just drawn him onto the left hand again there, a nice looking hook. So he's quite happy just to stay in range, draw the leads, little half step back, quick counters. So working in the opening round, we'll see Forbes is very experienced, see if he can put a stop to it.
Plenty of respect between this pair at this week's press conferences. Hopkins wanted this test, and Forbes needs it to get back among the echelon of the world-class fighters. Former world champion at 9 stone 4, remember, Forbes.
Yeah, well, he spent the first couple of minutes of this round just trying to get into range, finding it very difficult, and some of these clips, I don't look upon Hopkins as a thunderous puncher, but a couple of those little left hooks have looked quite tasty. Good body shot too.
Yeah, with the left hand from Hopkins, it's a fast, sharp and accurate start from the Philadelphian. Forbes looking to get inside and work Hopkins' body.
See, Forbes is trying to get close and then throw the punch. I think he's going to have to throw punches on the way in, because Hopkins has him solved out, knows exactly what's coming, and he's dealing with it well.
It's very sensible. He's got straight down to this, Demetrius Hopkins.
And they're not just little taps at these counters, they're nice, sharp looking, catching him well. Good opening round for Hopkins.
Go for that. Deep breath. Deep breaths. Good.
Derek Ennis running the corner of Demetrius Dwayne Hopkins, the 26-year-old
All right, do that shit, man. Come on, man.
from Philadelphia, the wonderful Mandalay Bay Event Center here,
Still seconds.
which will be jammed later on. Here's the second. We're in the light welterweight division. It's actually a defense of the USBA title for Demetrius Hopkins. Second one of those. He's unbeaten up against Steve Forbes in fight number 37. He's lost 4 times, but he needs a win here after a defeat in that Contender Series when he was fancied to win it.
Well, that's another good left hook he's just walked on to. It's a tough night when you're facing a guy who has all the physical advantages and who's good at using them, and he knows how to use them. He's used the jab well, long range left hook, and the range, in and out of range.
Forbes actually lost his super featherweight title on the scales, was struggling to make that weight, so a move up was natural for him. But the problem is that Hopkins is such a big and gangly light welterweight. Has to take a left hook there, short and sharp from Forbes. That'll give him a bit of confidence.
Well, I think this is what Forbes is going to have to do. I mean, he's a good pro, he's trying to get close. These are good exchanges. He's trying to get close without getting hit. That's not going to happen. He's just going to have to take some punches on the way in and try to get out some better ones of his own. This is better.
Yeah, right hand also looking for the uppercut. Steve Forbes, back comes Hopkins. We thought this might be a nip and tuck affair, but they've got down to it straight away.
Well, I think we can thank Forbes for that. He's raised the tempo, he's trying to put Hopkins under a bit of pressure, and he's managing to do that. Good body shot.
Hopkins thought it was low. Questionable there. Kenny Bayliss, very experienced referee, had no problems with it. And this is where we will start to find out about the makeup of Hopkins, if Forbes can keep this pressure going. Good action here in the second round.
Well, Forbes' punches certainly looking that little more solid of the two. And for the first time, Hopkins, a kind of concerned look on his face, responding well. But this is not what he had planned.
And he scored 9 knockouts, Forbes, but he has drilled himself into shape in Detroit. Finished off in Vegas. Good left to the liver from Forbes. And he's come right back into this in the second round, and Hopkins just looks puzzled there.
See, he's showing a little feint now as he comes forward, Forbes, just trying to force Hopkins to make the first move. This is where his experience is coming into play a bit more, not giving him the room he gave him in the opening round. This could be a tough night for Hopkins.
Forbes said it would be man against boy. Let's see.
He's in trouble right now. Stay at his body, okay? Cover yourself, get inside and work. Okay. Make it work, Steve, when you get inside.
The voice of Floyd Mayweather Sr., who's been in the news lately, will not be training Oscar De La Hoya, but will be helping his son for that mega match. Bernard Hopkins will be looking on at ringside as a very interested spectator, as his family member Demetrius has well, his first jump up in class against Steve Forbes, who just in that second round showed signs of improvement in a big way, Jim.
Yeah, I think maybe he caught Hopkins napping a little bit. I think he thought he had an excellent first round, and he was now just expecting to pick up where he left off. But this is a real good, solid pro he's in with tonight, so he won't put up with any nonsense. 2 rounds in the trot, so he come up with something better. Now it's down to young Hopkins to do the same.
Minor swelling under the right eye of Steve Forbes. Might have to endure a few bumps and bruises as he tries to get close and negate the range. Hopkins will elect to box behind that jab. Good battle in store here, Jim.
Yep. A lot more intense than I imagined it would be. In the second round, Forbes was showing a few feints before he was going to work, and Hopkins was falling for them. But now he's just having that little step back as he was doing in the opening round, and giving himself a little bit of room to get the counters off.
Trying to whip that left hook round Hopkins. Trying to show he has the speed and the technical ability. But when the combinations get through from Forbes, it just looks a bit rattled, Hopkins.
Yeah, but the one thing I did like, he took a couple of solid shots, but he had the last word in the exchange. But this is not the kind of fight I'm sure that his camp have planned.
He's a fairly quiet guy, Demetrius Hopkins. He leaves his uncle to do the talking, and how Bernard can chat. Can he live up to the publicity? There was talk of him having a shot at Junior Witter's WBC title at the end of last year. That didn't happen, but he's ranked right up there.
Well, he's tall and he's thin, but he's certainly gritty enough, because he's taken these shots and coming right back, giving pretty much as good as he's getting. But again, Forbes looking that bit more positive.
Good work from Steve Forbes as he moves inside, looking for body shots and uppercuts, and Hopkins just holds on there.
See, Forbes not giving him the room, just denying him the space. He's drawn him into his kind of fight, and this could be the telling point so early in the fight.
Lovely left hook to the head and then to the body, went in from Forbes. Back comes Hopkins, gritty, showing his heart, but he's never been under this sort of pressure in